you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. See ya.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Whoa, we shall ride. Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so we're waiting for tonight's guest to make his way into the room, so just bear with me while I stall, pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and invite somebody that wanted to come in on this show into the room, so just bear with me here for just a moment. I also, while I have you guys to myself for a moment, I wanted to address, for some reason, there seems to be something going on where this spam account with some Asian name or something continues to spam claim ownership of my parts of my video on Facebook. I don't know why that's happening. If somebody can get a hold of Facebook for me, because I did submit a dispute to them. The name on the account is Andrew. The last name is spelled Cheah, and then there's a hyphen and some sort of writing. I can't tell if it's Japanese or Chinese or whatever, and then the word sir after it. So if somebody can get on that and make that stop happening, I'd appreciate it, because I'm starting to get a little pissed off here about it. I'm not going to lie. anyway, that's what's happening. And so if you're watching on Facebook, or if you're able to watch on Facebook, I appreciate it. It looks like 2 of you are, so that's good. Nobody's watching on YouTube, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Again, we're supposed to be going one-on-one with our old friend Gino Rivera, from back in the day, if you will. Yeah, I know, Caleb, and that's what sucks. They're supposed to be looking out for us and making sure we, have our content protected and whatnot, and they just don't care. And I think that's ridiculous. I may have to just discontinue using Facebook on that front until that is resolved, because that's the third video to today that this account has done that. I've blocked this account from trying to access my videos, and I can't seem to make it happen. So if that is the case, then we're going to have to find other ways to get you guys, those of you in the Facebook audience, to get eyes on the product, because that's not right that I have to do that. I think that's ridiculous. All right, hold on one second there, green room person. Let me just put that up, and I'll go ahead and turn my screen off for now. There we go. Hi, Mikey. Yes, you have no hair. Bald Mikey, bald stat boy.
I decided I'm tired of having the bedhead look, and let's face it, tomorrow morning was not going to be a good morning. So I figured.
I don't know why tomorrow's going to be a bad morning, but okay, if you say so.
Mornings are, you know how mornings are. You don't want to get up in the morning.
Oh, I got you.
You don't want to comb your hair. Well, now I don't have to worry about that problem for the next 6 weeks, I think.
That's probably a safe bet. I'm hanging. Like I said, I'm sure you caught this. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, this is now the second time. You're breaking up. Where?
Oh, my microphone's acting up. I'm sorry.
Well, no, for one thing, you're covering it, which I keep telling you not to do when you use that damn thing you're using.
Well, I'm sorry, bro. I'm still not cool enough to have a cool camera setup like you do.
Well, that just came with help. So, what were you asking me again?
Have you recovered from your travels, and have you back from the desert heat of Las Vegas? Did you get lucky in Las Vegas there, bro?
It actually was really nice in Vegas the 3 days we were there. I'm not going to lie. It was actually really good weather the whole way. Remember, I didn't go outside very much during the course of the day. I didn't have to. We got in late Friday because of more travel drama, mainly due to the fact that the McDonald's close to Dylan's mom's place had a line that looked like it was a buffet in Vegas line long. It's horrible. So we didn't get out there until after. The GPS had it right. Had we not got turned around with directions on the GPS going to downtown, we would have pulled into the hotel at 8:47 p.m., which I was shooting to be up there an hour earlier or more. And that freaking McDonald's upon Palmdale just dicked us completely. But once we got out there, it was fine. I had an extraordinary amount of alcohol on Fremont Street Friday night. I got
yes.
And I only say that out of haha, because I honestly didn't mean to. I had forgotten how loaded the drinks at Fat Tuesdays are. And I ordered a Category 5 Hurricane, and I felt like I got hit by a hurricane. Wow. Like I don't think I had that much rum in the entire time I worked as merchandise person in 3 years that I did Friday night. Like, god dang. I have not been that schlacked out of state in forever, and it was wonderful. However, navigating...
That's my bro.
Luckily, the hotel was on Fremont Street, so I was able to navigate my staggering ass back to the room.
Which hotel?
Woke up... Four Queens. We're probably not...
Four Queens, okay, good.
I don't mind staying there again. The old man's not want to sit down there anymore just because the driving down there is ridiculous. It's terrible in downtown. It's what's funny is there's less construction downtown right now than the Strip. God knows there's that, but just the driving's still crazy there right now. So I woke up Saturday way earlier than my body wanted to, because I didn't get into a mode of sleep until well after 4 Saturday morning. And the idea was to hit the Skechers outlet, when they opened up, and get new shoes. Because last time I got new shoes was when I went up there for my birthday last year. Okay, that's fine. But in the process of me leaving Vegas last time, within 2 weeks, the pandemic hit. That store got turned inside out and upside down. Nothing was where it was there last. So I'm like, looking around like a lost deer looking for his mom that got shot or some shit. Like, okay, what do I do here? Luckily, this poor salesman took pity on my sorry ass and was like, "You need help?" I said, "Yes, I'm looking for these." I showed him my shoes. He's like, "Oh, we don't carry that in the store anymore." Oh. And then he spent the next 15 minutes trying to upsell me, earn his commission, like whatever. I don't begrudge the guy a minute, dude. They're trying to run their shit too. I get it. So we ended up just bouncing and drove up about a mile to Walmart. And not only did I get a new pair of shoes, I got a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt that fits. So I was like, yay! So it worked out.
There you go.
The plan then was to go on the tour of Vegas that I wanted to, as far as like get different shots of the different venues that host wrestling over years. Where the Aladdin used to be, the Orleans, the MGM, Caesars, all those. And it's like, I really don't want to do that. I kind of like, not that I got lazy. It was getting to the point where it was going to get getting hot enough where I was like, I don't want to deal with driving around all friggin' day. My dad doesn't want to drive around all day. So we ended up going over to the MGM anyway, because we wanted to hit up the SummerSlam Superstore that they had set up there in the conference hall area there of the MGM hotel. So I had bought I wore the shirt. I think I wore it Sunday on Sunday's show. Yeah, Sunday stream after Takeover, after Aaron was done with his Takeover coverage. I bought that shirt because I didn't see any shirts at the Superstore that said I was here, like they had for Punk on Friday. Stadium, they had the shirt. I went, well, okay, then. So ended up buying that I was there. What was really funny was I had the SummerSlam app on my phone that WWE had us download for the trip. I was looking at the Superstore options. They had 2 different shirts that I was there on the back. One had the poster, Roman, John, the other superstars on it. And the other one was the one I ended up getting, which was the logo with like some Vegas accents on it. When I looked at the lineup originally, the 3X in the poster shirt was sold out. Okay, I'll get a 2X. Let me just check real quick. I went to another shirt. I came back. It had to have been less than 90 seconds. 2X was sold out. I went, huh. So because what they were offering what they called an express pickup. You could order the shirt from your seat and walk down to section whatever the hell it was way on the other side of the freaking stadium, because that's how lucky my day went, and pick up the shirt. So I ended up just getting the shirt, and then of course Becky comes back out of nowhere, so I'm trying to get a hold on one of those shirts, and I don't see it on the app. So I thought, okay, they must not be selling it, because they must figure they're gonna have lines all the way, to Reno trying to get that Becky Lynch shirt. So I thought, okay, I'll just pre-order the thing. No big deal. No, it wasn't a big enough deal for me to justify getting bad shit about it, so I didn't. But then after the show, I went to go meet Bailey over at the Excalibur, and we ended up in their gift shop, market, whatever you want to call it, like their convenience store in the lobby, right? And the guy walks in.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The man is back in Vegas, and I went, "Where'd you get that?" The stadium. Where? He said, turned out they did offer it for sale, just not on the app. You had to go stand in line like a jackass. I was like, all right, I can wait for the lack of not wanting to stay at that friggin' stadium all night. I can wait till September 10th when the thing is officially on sale, and that's fine, because it still says Vegas. Because the Punk shirt Friday, you can't get that "I was there" unless you were in the United Center. WWE offered it on WWE.com. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And to answer your question, Caleb, since I saw it there, on a side note, can you explain why you weren't in the effing mood to do a post SummerSlam stream? Without telling too many tales out of school, I was not happy with what happened off air after the show was over, and I needed to get out of there and go meet my best friend and just cool down, because I was so upset with what happened with Brock Lesnar.
Well,
Simple as that.
luckily out here, Dory and I got off work around 7 o'clock, and we grabbed something for dinner. We came out here, we plopped down on the couch, and I now have the Peacock app on our Roku TV. Yay!
There
And
you go.
we started watching SummerSlam. I think we were an hour and a half or so behind, but luckily, and of course, the first match is Dory's number one, AJ and Omos, and boy, she wasn't happy about that, not at all.
I wouldn't be. I wasn't either. I'm not a fan of Riddle. I'm not sold on him. I don't care anybody else. I don't like Riddle. I will not like Riddle. And
I know we skipped the Damian Sheamus match. I know we skipped that one, but you will be very proud of Dory. She broke her mark out moment there. She was going crazy when Becky came out. I was loving it. I'm looking at her. I'm like, you're marking out right now, aren't you? She goes, yes, I am. The man is back.
Nice.
We were disappointed though with the length of the match. We would have loved to have seen a 15-20 minute battle between Becky and Bianca. Do we have any word on Sasha? Anything new yet?
Nope. Haven't heard a peep.
That is so weird.
Very much so.
I stayed through the whole show. She tapped at the Goldberg match, and then I
the Goldberg. That was funny.
and I will say this about, and I did message this to you about John's shirt. I like half of it. I like the back of it with the retro dates and belts. Like I said, you don't mess with Mario 3. Mario 3 is probably, it's up there. It's the top 3 of Mario games, If you remember when Cena did the 8-bit throwback to pro wrestling, that's cool because the NES was cool.
Right.
But to mess with now, and was that a shot at Punk? I know he took a shot at Punk 2 weeks before, but did he take a shot at Punk with the shirt this time?
Do you not remember the CM Punk shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees that had the Mario logo?
Not offhand, but I kind of.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
I kind of do.
Continue. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because the first promo between the two of them, Roman and John, when he said, maybe I'll win the title, maybe I'll jump the barricade, maybe I'll surf the crowd, and maybe I'll blow you a kiss. I knew exactly where he was going with that. I had to tell the story to Dory on that one. But right. I saw the shirt and I'm like, I would have done it maybe backwards. I would have had the belts and the date on the front, and if there was any other video game that he could have taken other than Mario 3, right. if it's possible.
Well, like I said, the reason they went with that. Oh wait, hang on, I'm on the wrong brand here. Hang on. Where am I at here? 1-on-1? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Can't remember where the hell.
And I think I broke one of the major rules of wrestling feuds. When a wrestler says, "If I don't win, I'm leaving town," hello, he's not gonna lose.
Well, no, because you know what? It's funny. It's funny if you had tuned into the NBA preview, which I recommend you guys do now that it's up and uploaded and whatnot. We talked about Trevor Murdoch putting his career on the line on Sunday, and Jason, not JJ, although he's in the room too. Hi, Jay, and we'll bring you in if you want to, brother. Let me know, private chat or whatever.
Let's do a Class of the 18 reunion again. Why not?
Let's pump the brakes a little bit there, Stat Boys. Jeff Meacham Network. Hi. Okay. Anyway, you're not back on the clock for another 2 weeks, there, buddy. So just relax. Anyway.
No, I'm going for extra credit.
Choice. Extra credit. I got it. Okay. So
a lot of money. We'll be back next week.
The folks at the Alliance blog seem to think that Trevor's going to win the title on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. In terms of the picture, the picture. Hi, the shirt that John unveiled. There's a CM Punk shirt.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very much a ripoff of what they did on Pros and Tees with CM Punk.
I think I like that one better.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I think I like that one better.
Well, there you go.
So, where is Mr. Rivera? What's up with him?
Well, he had an unexpected visitor drop by, so I think he's trying to clear the house out and get on the air here with us. So just stand by one second. Let me bring Mr. Williams in. Oh, Gino's on his way in, so stand by, everybody.
Woohoo!
Where is JJ where the hell's JJ on my work chat? Hey.
He should be in there.
Son of Beach. There he is. There we go. All right, JJ, here comes the thing over from my work, the Chris Jericho picture page. So, yeah, you haven't been on with me. Oh, wait, no. Have I talked to you the fact that I'm going on the Jericho cruise?
I did know that you. I saw one of your posts that said that you were going. So have a good time with that. Enjoy it. Don't get seasick and drink some more. That's all I can say.
No, because here's the thing: we paid for what is basically an open bar.
There you go.
So that's the plan there. But I've also been warned by the female warden to not drink so much and stumble out the balcony, because if I go overboard, that's it.
No.
So, yeah. JJ says, on the topic of Super Mario Brothers 3. I think it's Norwegian. I'm pretty sure Norwegian. Today's review was The Wizard, which was a 90-minute Nintendo commercial featuring Super Mario Brothers 3's big reveal. Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what The Wizard was.
Excellent movie.
So, yeah, it's. I can see why it's his favorite. I also see why people can either love or hate it. There's not a whole lot in between on The Wizard, but check it out over at Cassian Studios YouTube. There you go. That's today's stream.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think today is the last day before he goes into Muppet mode, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so.
Tomorrow, I believe, is the Muppet movie. So the last week of the month for JJ will be the Muppets, and I'm very excited about that because I love me the Muppets. And Friday, I need a whole lot of JJ on Friday. I'll tell you that right now, because in addition to him airing his review of The Muppets Take Manhattan, on top of us replaying The Muppets Take Manhattan review, he's getting the exclusive rights to last week's Dads that was supposed to go up, and editing Woes Ahoy were involved in getting that show up, so he's going to do it instead. And there you go. Correct. There you go. He's doing the review for Muppets. There you go. All right, and with that, let me go ahead and bring in the man we've all came here to see. He's got a different name in the chat room, but I'll go ahead and it's supposed to be Gino Rivera, but let me go ahead and change the background here because I said I would do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Seville the Thrill himself, Gino Rivera. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
How are you guys? Sorry I'm late. I'm always late to the party.
Come on.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right.
There he is.
So it's always good to see. Yeah, and well, first of all, let me just sit here and apologize to you first and foremost, because last week was 100% my fault. Mikey, let me take you out for just 1 second here while I get the formal stuff out of the way. I'll bring you back in momentarily.
No problem.
There we go. So last week, Gino and I set up that we were going to be on the air at, I was told, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. I thought, okay. For some reason, my brain went back 3 hours, even though it's only 1. So we were supposed to be on at 6 o'clock my time, and instead I put it at 4 o'clock, and it got completely cluster effed. It was just a mess. So thank God our buddy Enoch the Enlightened / Jarrell / Marcus Riot popped in and chatted this up quite a bit. And he, along with Mikey, they kind of saved the day. So I appreciate both of you guys doing that. And I appreciate you coming on. We have been trying to get you on the podcast pretty much since before the anniversary show where you cut that tremendous promo for us. And I really appreciated that JJ reached out and got that for me, because it was so, like, everybody else was all calm and, hey, brother, happy anniversary, whatever. You were just like, I'm like, see, that's what I wanted from the wrestlers. I wanted them to be up in my face because – especially you and Sam, because I hadn't had either one of you on the show in a year. That was bullshit on my part. So,
yes, that's all overdue.
So yeah, that was crazy stuff. But I wanted to bring you on because it's funny that I had you and Sam on back-to-back weeks originally planned, because you guys had a program out your way not too long ago. So that was kind of cool that you guys got together and had a little bit of a program there.
It was long overdue, man. He was overdue for an ass whooping. And he needed to be taught a lesson, right? I mean, sometimes the old guard just isn't what it should be or what he's made it out to be, and he wanted to test his skills
Right.
against an older me. Had it been a younger me, he would have mopped the floor with me. But here's the
Definitely.
thing: I'm experienced. I'm 12 years in. I'm not the green boy anymore. So
Yeah,
of
exactly.
course I learned a few tricks up my sleeve, and I came out victorious against Sam Knight. I taught him a lesson, and I sent his ass packing all the way to Indiana on a long flight as a loser,
That's it.
as he
See ya.
should be.
That's it. Yeah, it was great because I remember Seville the Thrill. I remember Seville Alvarez out here in SoCal and just being the there you go, there it is right there, being the cocky kid that thought he knew everything because he had the teachings of the Santinos behind him, and and it was just like, man, like you said, 12 years ago, Uncle I could have put you in your place, right? But now
Oh,
it was just a tremendous back and forth. It was great stuff. I loved it.
without a question, Sam Knight would have put me in my place had I still been that green boy without any experience. Um, the scenario would have been different. But like I
Yes,
said, I'm a world traveler now. I've got a lot of experience. I've done things that he hasn't, you know what I mean? Or I've done things in some case that he has done.
right.
And I've even surpassed him on some levels. And now I took all that experience and I used it. And like I said, there's a reason why I came out victorious. I beat him in Vegas. I sent him packing. And now he has to go back to the drawing board, if he has one, to find
Right.
out how how in the world did Gino Rivera beat me? How did this chump, this kid, this jerk, this loudmouth beat me in the middle of the ring fair and square? And I tell you how I did it. I mean, I just used everything he's ever taught me against him. That's it.
Yeah, it's a classic story, right?
Hey.
So, and I actually I really had full disclosure. I intended to get you on long before when I was still working with Aaron for full time doing the no DQ thing because you went out to Arizona and basically took the Marquez promotion, Chitty Wrestling Arizona, and just turned it on its damn self and ruled that place. And it was
You did.
awesome to see that because you and I are both familiar with Dave Marquez and who he books and how he books and everything, and just you took everything that the Arizona promotion became with Peter, running the show and everything, and just you just it was a joy to watch you on that show every single weekend on the Fight app. It was such a great pleasure to see you doing your thing and coming into your own as a performer and as the character you had evolved into from being out here. It was so great to see that.
Yeah, you know what? They gave me the ball. I picked it up and I ran with it. You know what I mean? I went
Right.
from this kid of the unknown of we're not too sure of this kid to Gino Rivera, and David Marquez literally put the rocket right on my back,
Yep.
and he said to the whatever that guy says. He 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 pushed me to the moon, and there was
Right.
nobody there that could touch me. Nobody
No.
in Hollywood that could touch me. I carried Arizona on my back for 315 days as the
Yes.
first ever Arizona state champion. I said 315 days. Not one person could touch me. Week to week, month to month, no one could touch me. And I stand by that. And ever since I left, that promotion hasn't really. I don't know. We haven't heard much of it, right? I mean, it's
No, I
been a
mean
little. You got Ray as a champ. You had EJ. You had all these guys, but no one truly carried that company and put it on its back like Gino Rivera. And it won't happen again until I'm back there. David Marquez, he knows there ain't nobody like Gino Rivera.
No, it's funny. The last really thing I heard major of them after you had left was when they were building toward the NWA relaunch, and Tim Storm was working in there with Peter and just mopping the whole state with Peter's moppy head. So it was kind of yeah.
There. We were catching Peter's nipples. You hear me? Tim was popping so hard. We'd be in the back with gloves ready to catch a nipple.
Yeah.
That was Tim and Peter.
But you know what? Peter, I give Pete so much credit, man. I mean, like I said, we go back so far. It's ridiculous how far back we all go. Like, I remember Peter being like, this guy's in the standard? Really? With Adam and Joey? Like, what? And now he's like, dude, he's like a household name. It feels like he's been on Impact. He's in commercials with freaking Ric Flair now. It's like, Jesus, the guy's just all over he's like horse shit. He's everywhere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I first met Peter, man, oh my gosh, when Peter was a skinny kid in AWS, and he had this silly little pink or light blue jacket with these glasses, and he was the cruiserweight. He was the standard bearer there, and I always thought Peter was older than me, but I'm actually older than Peter, and I just saw Peter about 2 weeks ago at an independent show. He came to a match that me and Cal Jack was on, and he made himself. He didn't make himself known. He hung out in the back, and that was really nice to see. Like, he doesn't forget where he's come from, and he still pokes his head out in the scene. He doesn't make it, hey, I'm Peter Avalon, I'm here, give me attention. He literally sat in the back, chugged on a little whatever he was drinking, and he didn't even let anybody know he was there. But I noticed he was there. But it's so hard. He's one of the hardest working SoCal dudes, California dudes. Forget that. He's one of the hardest working wrestlers I've ever met, and he's one of the good guys. You ever see a guy, get signed or make it on TV, and you go, "That's one of the good guys. I'm giving him his flowers." Peter's that guy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where so many people that I, was working with all those years ago, and people that I had on the show in the past. I mean, when AEW launched, Frankie, Sky, Chris, those three guys being SU, it was like, dude, like, this has been this is what they've wanted to do since they were toiling away at PWG and working, they were working with TNA, and that was great and everything. But it's just this, they wanted to be together, and seeing Ray and Peter doing their thing. Ray and Peter are going back, they're having a reunion match like not too long from now. It's just so great because neither one of them really need that, especially Pete. But like you said, he never forgets where he came from. And I gotta put this comment up because JJ's like, it's so true. You will never know what a man or woman is capable of until you give them the opportunity to show what they can do. And Gino's proof of that. JJ and I both saw Seville the Thrill come up from, like you said, the rail kid that was about as wide as Peter Avalon, right? And yeah, exactly. Saw that guy right there with that mask on evolve into this guy. It's amazing.
Yeah, man. It's honestly, it was hard work, guys. It's stuff that I picked up along the way. I had Joey Chaos, a legend in this business. I had Supreme, God rest his soul. I had Mongol, Angel Exotico, Eddie Carnage, BC Killer, Silvio Romo, Ranchi Rico. I had all these guys to shape and mold me. And they gave me a fork and knife. They gave me the plate. I just had to go and find that food. And along the way, along the years, for 12 years now, I've been eating, and I've been chomping away, man. And I've done pretty much everything I've wanted to do. I just got to get that contract now. I've got to take to the WWE. You know what I mean? I've done extra work. You know what I mean? I've met my peers. I've wrestled the guys I've wanted to wrestle. Now it's just. I told this story with Ruben Iglesias, one of my good friends. I was just saying, man, how long are you going to be satisfied with just being an extra, a guy that stands against the wall and sits in catering and wait, like waiting for something for them to give you? Right. When I'm there, I'm not there to have catering. I'm literally networking with all of my friends backstage, and I'm like, what do I got to do to get a job here now? I don't want to be a role star. I don't want to hold a phone and be a shadow in the background as, Sonya Deville's talking. I need a job here. What do I do? Right. Where is William Regal? Where are those guys? Because I need to speak with them, and
exactly.
And that's the thing, guys. Like, I worked my butt off to become this wrestler where I'm one of the only Santino bros from the class of the first and second class. I'm one of the only ones still going weekend after weekend, month after month, year after year. I'm the only guy besides Mariah, if you count her as a guy or a girl. But it's just me and her, and everybody else is, out of the way. Thunder Kitty's still out there, but as
I
far
was
as
I was gonna say I saw Thunder Kitty. We were talking about her during the NBA preview. She's part of the cup this Saturday. I was like, man, I remember booking Thunder Kitty as the champion. I'm like, holy shit! Like she's still good for her. That's so great.
yeah, a lot of these guys have fallen out. They've taken a year off. They've gone on high. I've never gone on a hiatus. I've never taken time off. I broke my jaw twice. I took maybe a 2-week notice off, but I've never been off for a few years. But I've been going nonstop, and I've been putting in the work and giving results back to people. Like, this is what happens when you put in the work. I'm living proof of hard work and doing it the right way, and not being a stooge or a sneaky type of guy and cheating and lying and stealing. Not that anything's wrong with that.
No.
But like I said, I'm living proof of hard work, and if you put in the work, you get results, and that's what I'm getting back right now.
Exactly, and it's amazing, and I love that. We did that feature in the Santino's school back in 2011, and you were still still training, but getting yourself out there. And Famous B was there, and like you said, Sylvia was there training, and Joey, and everybody was there. It was so cool to see so many people so dedicated to not being weekend warriors, not having that 9-to-5 job where you go toil away and have your soul sucked for 40 hours a week, and then okay, well, I'm going to play wrestler on the weekend now. No, you guys are out there. You guys and gals are out there doing it because you want to do it, because that's where you want to be. And you made a great point. I got to reemphasize this. You go to these WWE events, if you're called in as an extra. I saw your post that you were working on 205 Live recently, which I think is just awesome that you got to work with. That brand is so ignored. It is disgusting how much great talent is on that show. And that's right, I forgot, it's on after SmackDown. Let me go turn on the network. Nobody gives a shit, and that's bullshit that it is. It's terrible.
Yeah. It's so sad. I've got so many good friends on that brand, and so many people that I've made friends with that people don't even know they're on the roster.
Yeah.
So sad. You get call-ups time to time. Like, they'll bring in a buddy of mine, Jake Atlas, to go and do a match, or, you know what I mean? And then they have Ari Bari and Tony Nese, and it's like, these guys are such great, if the greatest cruiserweights, wrestlers in general.
Right now,
they're there. They're not even featured on SmackDown or a commercial. They don't have merch. They're just on main event or a 205 Live. And like I said, or like you said, people watch SmackDown and go, okay, well, I saw Roman Reigns. Good night.
Yeah.
Like, well, wait. We've got 3 other matches that will rock the house, and Roman Reigns can't do what these guys can do. I promise you.
Right. And I felt bad. The last time I was at a SmackDown Live before they moved back to Friday, it was when they were out here in Ontario a couple years ago. I actually got Toll Divas cameo out of that, which is a whole other story. But I couldn't stay for the whole 205 because I had to catch my train. I was so bummed because it's like, okay, yeah, we had 2 hours of the Shane McMahon Daniel Bryan show, but now we're gonna see these guys that can actually work and actually, do the great things. And I had to bail. I was like, shit. So it was a bummer. It was a bummer. And like you said, these guys are on the roster. Nobody knows they're there. They're tucked away so far back in that Peacock app. They're freaking cleaning up the Peacock shit as they're walking along at this point. Like, seriously, it's terrible.
It's sad. And just to know that these guys work, if not just as hard as the Roman Reigns, just as hard as the Dean Ambrose, stuff like that. Like, these guys are such freaking world respected talent, but they're not even respected in the company that they work for because no one even cares. The fans leave. We see it. Hey,
yeah.
It's next, and all of a sudden there's like, I got to go to work tomorrow. I don't know, Jake Atlas. I don't care.
Seville, hand to God, I sat there and made a list when they were doing the release. Okay, I can get Jake on the podcast. He'll come on. Oh, wait, well, Heather Monroe will come on because Jake will come on. Like, I started making a list, and it's like, okay, here we go. I'm going to start, once that 90 days is up and people can start talking, it's like, okay, it's okay. You guys want to screw these talented people over? Okay, fine. Cool. So Mikey, who was on, I'll bring him back in now. He actually had a question that he asked in the chat room. I'm gonna go ahead and ask him for here because I have a feeling. And when Mikey is talking, so we'll go ahead and mute him while he's having a conversation with his roommate. Cool. Nothing changes. So he asked, what was your favorite WWE moment you participated in so far? And I know you mentioned, doing the Rosebud thing and, but I can't think that Mikey, Mikey, I'm going to mute you till you're actually talking to us.
Hey, guys.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay.
I'm here. I'm ready to go.
So I actually was trying to ask your question. You asked it in the private chat, but
Oh, so sorry about that. I'll ask it straight out then. What's up, Gino? How you doing, bro?
Hello. How are you?
Doing, man. Great to see you again. Gino and I go back all the way to Santino Brothers years and all that. We're good friends on Facebook and everything. Here's my first big question. You've done 3 appearances that I know of offhand in the big time in WWE. You walked Goldberg to the ring. You were part of the Rosebuds, and you actually had a match on SmackDown, I believe, against the Lucha House Party. Of those 3, what's the best? What's the top one?
Honestly, let's start here. I've been working with the WWE since 2014, 2020. Every single year, I've done something with them. Rather, it's security for Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, and breaking up Kurt Angle, and whatever they're doing, walking Goldberg out, a segment with Tony Nese, the Rosebud. I was also a No Way Jose guy, and I've had my match with Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado. It was February in 2018 on 205 Live. My best moment,
which I did get to see that match live before I left. That one I stayed for.
Oh gosh, that was my top 3 favorite moment in life. It's because a young kid like me, I always. It's literally what I say. I told you so. I told everybody in my family, all my friends, one day I'm going to have a match in the WWF, the WWE. And of course, what do you do when you hear that, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, buddy, see you at McDonald's. And this was a kind of an aha, I told you so moment of, look at me, I'm here. That was my favorite moment in the world, guys. I have a story about that night if you guys are interested in hearing it.
Absolutely.
Please.
It's so wacky. So basically, I get the message saying, "Can you be at SmackDown this time?" And I'm like, no, because I work tomorrow. But yes, sure, I'll be there.
Right.
And I basically drive myself out. I do an overnighter, and literally I'm there, and I have not many hours to sleep, but I park in the parking lot and I knock out, go to the venue. I'm nervous as hell, as always. It's WWE. It's everything you ever want. You want to act right. You don't want to do anything wrong. You walk on eggshells there. That's how it is. You get to the venue. My legs are weak because I'm seeing all of my heroes. I'm seeing everybody, but I got to stay calm. I can't mark out. I can't be I can't superstar anybody because I'm not that guy, but I see everybody. I see Undertaker. I see this guy. I see whatever it is. And it's just, my dreams could come true, and my dreams could be something where it's just smoke. And I sit in catering. I'm not doing anything. I walk around. I'm looking for somebody who can make eye contact with me so that I can actually get somebody to talk to me, because I'm there for a job. I'm not there to fanboy.
Right,
So
right.
I basically wait, and we wait, and they're doing rehearsals, and all of a sudden they say, "Hey guys, put your gear on. We're gonna do a match." And
nice.
I'm like, they're like, a few matches, and I'm like, oh, thank gosh. So I put on the flashiest gear I could. I went in there. I was the odd man out. Me and a guy named Evan Daniels. They paired us up. We called the match, and all of a sudden they switched it up. They're like, "Okay, you called your match with this guy? Okay, well now you're going to be working, instead of with Jeff, you're going to be working with Mike, and you're on right now." And I'm like, what, whoa, okay. It's called working on the fly. So I did that, and then they switched it again before I even could get in the ring. They're like, "You're back with this guy." And I just said, I'm the face, just kick my butt. And we had a really good match. And to the point where Dean Malenko, Billy Kidman, Jinder Mahal, and Baron Corbin pulled me aside and was like, great stuff, man. There's a little kinks that we could fix, but it was good enough, And I remember before I got in the ring, there was two guys, I won't say their names, they were getting in the ring, and they were doing all this PW-14 Canadian Destroyers and jumping, doing this, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston walks by me and goes, whatever they're doing, don't do that. And I was like, what? Like, don't do that. And I was like, okay. So I told the guy, I'm like, let's slow it down and let's work and a punch and a body slam, keep it nice, short, and sweet. And we did. To the point where Billy Kidman was like, okay, that's the guy. And Dean Malenko comes up to me and he's like, he's got his hands in his pocket and he's like, how long have you been working, kid? And I'm like, 10 years. And he's like,
Right.
All right, how old are you? I'm like, 30. He goes, you look 12. And I'm like,
yeah. I'm gonna say that's exactly what Malenko would say. You look 12.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, what's it called? What's your name? And I'm like, Gino Rivera. And he's just like, Gino Rivera. Sure, you move like a cat. And I'm like, sure, okay. And he's like, how do you say strong heart or heart with cat or something? And somebody said something gato, and then the name came. It was some weird Spanish name. It just slipped my mind right now. I can't even think about it. It was something Corazon Delgado is what they gave me, which is nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Or Delgado Corazon. And then he said, you speak Spanish, and I was like, yes. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay.
See?
You're gonna work with Grand Metal League. He's no English. Good luck. Get over, but don't get over. And I said, what the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? And I look, and Lindsay DeRosa's like, don't worry about it. We got you. And I was like, get over, but don't get over. What does that mean? Meaning, basically, don't do your flashy stuff, but make them look good is what it meant. And we had our match, and I almost broke my legs the first 3 seconds of the match. They gave me a big back body drop. I was so light in the air for them. I disappeared in the lights because I didn't tan. I didn't tan, and I was so high, and I weighed 100 pounds that he threw me, and I literally, my legs went under me. It was just
rotated.
Whatever. And all I could think about while I'm laying on the ground is Vince hates me right now.
Right.
He's probably like, that guy, get into the ring. Get him out of my ring. Right? That's all I think about. And we had our match. It was great. It wasn't a squash match. They gave us stuff. They let us do things.
There you go.
Not anything cool. And the best part of that was I was a champion in Arizona for 315 days on TV, which means that when wrestling fans are in Arizona watching wrestling on TV, when they're not watching WWE, they're watching me. So while I walked down that ramp and I was in the ring and I heard Gino, and I heard two people screaming, I was like, I'm over, brother. Yes, two people know who I am on a 10,000. Hell yeah. Whatever. I felt like...
Well, you definitely had a couple people watching you on SmackDown in California that we all saw you. Like I said, the first time I saw you was you were backstage in security costume. I'm like, oh crap, that's Gino right there. And I think I might have even said that's Seville. That wasn't Gino. And I'm like, damn, how do you get that job? Because and here's my next question. When you were walking with Goldberg, how difficult is it to get that mentality to not think, oh my God, I'm walking with Goldberg. I can't believe I'm doing this. How do you keep that straight face mentality?
Gino, but before you answer, it was definitely Seville still because Dylan was at that SmackDown. That was the first SmackDown Dylan ever went to. And he looked at the screen, he goes, Daddy, isn't that Seville? And I went, oh shit. Like, he saw it before I did. I'm looking at the screen like, we're in the crowd, they're showing the big screen. Like, so it was, we remember.
Right. Well, let me answer your Goldberg question. You go find a bathroom and you giggity and you do the bathroom for about 5 seconds. Go, oh my god, and then you walk out and go, okay, I am professional now. So, look, man, I've been watching wrestling since I can freaking remember. My mom would rent the tapes and stuff like that every weekend for me. Sometimes I wouldn't even return them back.
Here.
We'd be banned. So we'd be banned from a video store because we lost so many tapes.
For you kids at home, he's referring to a VHS. It's about this thick, it's about this long, and it goes into a VCR, kids. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we old folk,
And there
don't
was a
mind
really
us.
cool store. It was called Blockbuster Video.
Oh no!
And they would have the pay-per-views every month.
Hollywood Video, Blockbuster.
I was gonna say, shoot. We had a local one out here called The Movie House. That's where I first saw WrestleMania 4, the double tape. Okay, just saying. That's how far back I go.
So basically, I've been a fan since VHS tapes, which there's probably guys that have been fans before VHS, but I've watched wrestling. 90s was a boom period, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm heavy into wrestling around like 96. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and all that, and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. And then, as 97 and 98, there was a guy named Goldberg that would come around, and he was unbeatable. And I watched his streak literally on TV every single week with Mongo and destroying Hugh Morris and just everybody. And at first I was like, wow, this guy's he's a jerk, whatever. And then I grew into a Goldberg fan. I was the kid that, wore his underwear and colored his arm with a band. And I was like, blah, with my rollerblade gloves, and I thought I was Goldberg with my bald head. Fast forward, a few years later, I'm watching him in WWE, and I'm never gonna meet that guy. And then next thing you know, we fast forward a few more years later. Now I'm an extra, and they're like, we need a couple of guys to make Goldberg look big. Hey, you 12-year-old kid, come here. Here comes Gino. We want you to be in front of the door and in front of the line because you will enhance Goldberg. And I'm like, that's my job, right?
I'm literally an enhancement talent.
Exactly. So, of course, funny quick story. As you know, WWE doesn't like you to look into the camera. I was so caught in feelings that I was staring dead directly into the camera. And you can still see it. You guys pull it up. You can see me looking dead in the camera, and I didn't know they were rolling. I thought they were just doing edits like, okay, look, we're going to be on in 5 minutes. They were actually rolling, and I'm just looking dead into the camera. And all of a sudden, they spaz or pass like Goldberg's door. And all of a sudden, they're like, all right, cut. And the guy goes, don't look at the fucking camera. And I'm like, don't look at the camera. And they're like, I just got yelled at in my ear. Don't look at the camera. So it was Kevin Dunn yelling at the guy.
Oh, wow.
Let's not look at the fucking camera. What's wrong with that?
Kevin loses his mind. Like, I've had so many people that have worked extra that have done that stuff that tell me, dude, he is crazy. People bitch about Vince being on those headsets. Oh man, Kevin Dunn's a whole other level. He's batshit.
I just heard the guy he pulled off his headset. He was getting yelled at so bad. And then he bitched me out. He was like,
of course.
My boss is yelling at you. I might get fired because of you.
Oh,
I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm sorry. So basically, so all of a sudden, we knock on that door and Goldberg swings out of a janitor closet because it wasn't a real door. Right. And next thing you know, we're walking and I remember Goldberg, before we walked, Goldberg was like, walk fast, keep up, kid. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, how fast am I walking? And he was literally, I could feel his breath. My neck blowing. And I'm like, he's right behind me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was just, it was that's another dream come true. It was like, I got to see, guys or policemen escort Goldberg on WCW television. And now what the hell am I doing here? I'm one of those guys. Right. So it was an awesome thing, dude. I didn't really mark out for it. It was more of like, this is so surreal. Like, how did I, it's like finding a needle in a haystack going, hey, one day you are going to walk over. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Here you go.
Yeah. It's
I told you so.
Yeah, I will never personally like Bill for the way he treated No DQ and for interview or whatever. but you can't deny the man's presence. He's just got this aura about him. And I will say this: be grateful you were walking him to the ring rather than being one of the security guys trying to break up a fight and taking the spear that'll put you in the next county. I'll tell you that, because he will break people in half and not even bat an eye about it. Not on purpose. It's just the way he is. He's intense as hell. So,
He's intense as he walks, guys. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say aura. Oh my gosh. When you walk by Vince McMahon, there is this aura of
thank you.
Like when you walk, I mean, I didn't walk by him, he walked by me. And I felt like I shot against the wall, like
Yeah, you can't go anywhere near that.
It's an aura.
By the grace of God, I was outside the one time I encountered him. Dylan's mom and I went to his Walk of Fame star thing out in Hollywood. It's actually where I first met Marquez in person for the first time, coincidentally enough. So we were out there, and because Dylan's mom was wheelchair bound, we were right up against the guardrail, and they all come walking by because everybody was there except Stephanie. The whole family was there because it's Vince's big day. But Stephanie was at TV doing creative, so they all walk up. Mrs. McMahon's just gracious. She goes right up to Dylan's mom. Are you okay? It's hotter than heck out here, and you're clearly with child or whatever she said. And is he taking care of you? Referring to me, and she goes. Jade gave her a look, and Mrs. McMahon gives me a look. I'm like, oh, we're good. We're good. Like Mrs. McMahon's gonna kill me right here and now. So then Mr. McMahon walks up and he puts up that big paw of his, and he shakes my hand. I'm just like, you're right. It's a whole aura. Like you get this feeling like you're in a whole other dimension of reality because it's Vince freaking McMahon. Like it's just crazy.
It's an aura, unfortunately, that both my brothers have experienced, and I'm running out of time here because let's face it, who knows whenever I'm going to be able to get to Vince or anybody in the family. But anyway.
What's so funny about our JJ's and my story is totally different. My story was what it just was. JJ only really got to meet Mr. McMahon because he was at the first SummerSlam that was out here back in 2009. And Vince was out on LA Live doing the final checks for access, everything's okay or whatever, just doing, doing the Vince thing because Vince has to see everything. And they called out to him for, just to say hello. And those notorious, the great Staples Center red coat guards, those big dudes that think they know everything. Oh, hey, leave him alone. He doesn't have time to deal with you guys right now. And Vince, of course, PR alert, bap, 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 in his head going, oh shit, PR moment. So he freaking walked over there, shook everybody's hand. And that's why JJ has a picture with Vince McMahon and I don't, because I didn't cause a PR alert by trying to say hi. I was standing there anyway.
That's a rare one. If you get
it's almost midnight here on the East Coast. I've got a shift in the morning, so I'm going to give you my last. I know. I got to do the work thing, so I'm going to do my last question and bow out. Gino, you've been in the business a long time, 12 years, you said. Are you still a fan? Do you still watch the product? Do you go to shows? Do you do all the things that people like me sitting in the crowd and enjoying the matches? Do you sit down and watch pay-per-views?
I am 1,000.
Stuff like that?
I am 1,000% still a fan, or I am a wrestler. And let me tell you why.
Bingo. Yep.
I never lost my love for wrestling, and I still watch wrestling from a fan's perspective. I can lose myself in a match. I can lose myself in a storyline because I'm invested. I know what I want. I know what I see. I suspend my disbelief. Okay, we still do because look, Undertaker ain't really a fucking zombie. Okay, but Undertaker, my favorite wrestler, and you can't say a bad thing about him. Because he's a fucking zombie right now. So I'm suspending my disbelief. So I'm 110%, 1,000% still a fan. I still collect action figures. I've got the biggest action figure collection you could imagine. No one can touch my action figure collection except Mr. Cardona.
No, he said action figures. He said it correctly.
Yeah. They are not toys. They're not dolls.
It's not a doll, man. It's an action figure. Action figure.
It is not a doll. I will beat you over the head with a doll and then show you my action figure. But
no. Use the action figure. It's a harder material. It'll cut their head wide open more. So
yeah, I'll grab my New Jack action figure and do.
Jesus.
But I collect the action figures. I collect my shirts. I watch every single wrestling program you could imagine. My students have gone over my house, or they, hit me up on a FaceTime, and they could see literally 4 or 5 screens of different wrestling, which Joey Chaos is like, you have to just watch one. And I'm like, no, I don't. I want to know what New Japan's doing. I want to know what WWE's doing and TNA. And then I want to watch this documentary, and I can mute the matches because I know the story. I know what they're doing. I just need to see where they're going. But like, I watch 4 to 5 different freaking wrestling programs at a time because I can't miss anything. And I get so overwhelmed because it's like, guys, there was a time in I don't even remember, in the 90s where I couldn't wait for next Monday to come. Before there was a Thunder, before there was a SmackDown, I was like, hurry up Nitro, hurry up Raw. You know what I mean? Now it's like, there's wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 3 shows in one day, and you're trying to keep up. And I'm the guy still downloading or on the Peacock app and renting videos, watching tapes, DVDs, whatever it is, YouTube. I pull it all up, and I'm still that fan, which is why my matches come out better, my promos come out better. Just I know what I want to do in the ring. I know what I'm saying to people, my students in general. I know what I'm talking about because I'm still a fan. I know what I want to see as a fan. And a lot of guys get that mixed up, and you can't take a football player and make him love wrestling like a fan, like Bailey, like who else? Jeff Hardy. All these guys were fans of the business, is why they're still there longevity wise. A lot of football players get into wrestling and they just don't care about it. They just, I'm here for the money. I don't give a shit about wrestling, and they're not good people. But as a fan, you go, I know how to treat a fan because I once was that fan, and I know how I would want to be treated. I will sign this autograph for you. I will wait in the snow about 5 more minutes so you can go find a pen so I can sign and make your freaking day. I will sign your autograph tired as hell in the airport because I know how long you sat here waiting for me. Like, that is what fans do. And like I said, for me, like, I don't mind still admitting. A lot of guys are too cool to admit, I'm not a fan of wrestling. I hate wrestling. It's the cool thing to say you're not a fan of wrestling. But for me, I found it that people respect me more when I'm honest, and I'm honest about my fandom, like, of wrestling. Like, I love it all. I love everything. I'll never stop.
So 3 things I took away from that, what you just said. First of all, people begin on that guy's case for crying in Chicago on Friday. Dude, that's what it's all about. For real. Number one. I choked up for that. I didn't cry, but I was just like, hell yeah. Like, we needed it. We all needed it. Yeah, I was on the road to Vegas. I get to see it live, but man, watching that entrance and listening to him speak exactly what we've all known he was going to say for 7 years, it was like, man, speak to us, Phil. Please just make it happen, brother, because it was just so cool to see that. The second thing, I forgot what the third thing was, but the second thing was, if you want to get Joey to get off your case about having 5 things on, make sure one of those is always Best of the Enterprise on DVD. Just make sure it's blurred out. If you have a FaceTime, little kinky stuff on there, just throwing it out there. But always have the Best of the Enterprise running in the background if you want to get Joey's off your ass about the 5 channels, because that's one of the best DVDs XPW ever produced. Ryan did such a good job on that. It was not even funny. Yeah. So there's another guy that you don't ever see. You don't ever really hear about unless he's kind of like popping out like for an extra cameo or whatever. But Ryan Katz, GQ Money, is freaking helping NXT run like a freaking fine-tuned engine. I'll tell you.
Do you know who's one of my biggest supporters?
Ryan.
Yes.
Because
I know I'm one of them.
Well, it's so funny. It's so funny, guys. He doesn't forget where he came from either. We were out in, God help me, Bakersfield, California, and at an NXT house show, and Ryan's just sitting on the stage, just kind of, making sure everything's getting set up okay. He sees me way out in the freaking crowd, and it was like the last 6 years hadn't passed. It was GQ and Jeff again. It was So
I was backstage at a WWE event, and I'm thinking, he doesn't remember me. He doesn't know who trained me. Whatever. Literally walks by and goes, "Hey, Seville, follow me." What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Me? What, me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and I know he doesn't want me to give him credit, and I know he's not a guy that goes, give me credit when,
No, never.
he never wants that. But,
No.
and I would never acknowledge him on Facebook about it, but I can acknowledge him with you guys because we know him a different way. Everything I've done in WWE is mostly forwarded. How can I say? Ryan Katz has been
afforded to you through Ryan, right? Exactly.
Yeah, Ryan is my big supporter and my friend, and
he's one of the good people, and he doesn't get that near enough thrown toward him at all. It's bullshit.
What did I say?
It really is.
It's those guys that they make it, they get their dream job, and you go,
yep.
I'm proud of it. Rather than, that guy made it. Oh, he was a jerk.
Yeah,
right?
It was so funny. There's two completely different stories from SummerSlam Access. I think it was 2011. It had to be 2011 because 2010 Brian was still surprised he wasn't there yet. So 2011, they're doing Access, and I couldn't afford the session that Brian happened to be sitting in. So I'm walking the perimeter there at LA Live, right? Ryan sees me, grabs me over the barricade, and gives me in this like hold, like he's choking me. And the guy with me, take a picture. It was so hammed up. It was so goofy, so stupid. But that's Ryan. And then I'm walking
Ryan
along
is one
later,
of the best goofs ever.
and I'm walking along later, and Brian's got one of his he's got one of the main booths because it's Brian. And Dylan and his mom are in line to see him because they were at that session. And you see him like this, and Dylan's mom points to the perimeter, and I'm out there. Brian signs the people. He gets up, walks to the perimeter, and goes, "Why aren't you in here?" And he spends 5 minutes with me when he's got a line of people. Those are the kind of people that you acquaint with. Those are the kind of people you want to say, "Hey, that's why I'm a fan. That's why I'm in this. That's why I do this." Ryan Katz, Bryan Danielson, people like that, Gino, Seville, whatever you want to call yourself on this show, people like that are the reason that people that have been fans for 30 years stay fans.
Yeah, literally. Another story, I was in Florida, and Ryan, literally, all these superstars are around, and he's like, Seville, come here. How you doing, buddy?
Right?
Hey, let's get a picture. And I'm like, you want a picture with me? Like,
it's like, who the hell that? Yeah.
Nakamura walking around, like, you want a picture?
Anyway, guys, I got to bail out.
All right, Mikey, have fun
I'm
at work
bail
tomorrow.
out and say thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
I know. I got to go to work tomorrow. Seville, you need to come out to Tennessee, man. I'm serious about that. You got to come out here, hang out, have a good time, get some matches. Like I said, I'll even get you to Dollywood if you want to go. December
18th, I'm making a play to go to Tennessee. So
there you go.
A promoter reached out to
Christmas at Dollywood.
All right.
I love it.
That's a date. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Don't forget,
right,
Sports Bar is coming back. Season 2,
Yeah.
Sports Bar. I got to plug that.
2 weeks from tonight. Yep.
2 weeks from tonight. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Be well, Mikey.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. He's just one of the good guys, and I pray that guy, with all the releases going on and stuff, I pray that he is safe. I pray for just like he's such a good guy, and I know we've got Khan coming there and cleaning up house and stuff like that, and tearing down departments and stuff like that. But please, like Dusty Rhodes, there was a reason why Dusty Rhodes took a liking to Ryan. It's the same reason why we all take a liking to Ryan.
I hand to God, I honestly think that's why Ryan's still there, because Dusty, even from the grave, is like, no.
Yeah.
He stayed here, baby. You don't get rid of him.
Yes. That paper may be issued, and that paper may slide off the desk into a fax machine or into a
shredder. Yeah. Bye. Nope. Yeah. No. Because
Dusty Rhodes literally shaped and molded Ryan for that job. And if anybody knows promos, anybody knows a character, anybody knows a gimmick and goes, this isn't working, but this can, it's Ryan. And he'll never want that credit, and I'm sure he wants me to probably burn this segment from your show.
He's probably going to give me a call in the morning going, what the hell?
Yeah, please. Like, I'm pretty
please
sure.
Take that shit down. What's the matter with you, Meacham?
Yeah, he'll probably be more mad that we're putting him over like this. But
right, but
he knows where our heart is.
And the thing is, for so many years when I was first starting, like I think I'm trying to think, Yeah, the second guests we ever had on the old Extreme Mayhem show were Joey and Ryan when they were still doing the Chaos and GQ Money thing with Veronica back then. And then their first interview after Rob cut all three of them was me. So it was just so wonderful to have that access, and just they didn't have to do that. I mean, even back in 2003, Chaos was the rock superstar. He could write his ticket. XPW was dying. I mean, granted, the feds helped that along very nicely, but just saying. But Joey especially, but even Ryan. Ryan was never going to be the big, tall Andre the Giant guy or the Hulk Hogan guy, but he was a mouthpiece that could do anything. And that's the thing. Ryan's been so creative for so long. And like you said, you can't learn under any better tree than Dusty Rhodes to do creative and producing and whatnot. So, I mean, Jesus.
I think Ryan's taking a liking to me because of my mouth. And he's one of the guys that told me, look, Gino, Seville, he called me Seville. Everybody calls me Seville. Of course. If you know me, you call me Seville. But
exactly.
He's told me firsthand, and you might want to burn this out of your session too. No one gives a shit about your wrestling. We've got 150 guys down here that can wrestle, but we've got 20 guys that can talk.
Thank you.
We need your mouth. You know what I mean? Right. And he's like, go learn Spanish. You'll get a better shot here than not knowing Spanish. It's something that I've flubbed over the years, but Ryan's always taken care of me. Just anytime I've gone into any event, Ryan's just like, Seville, come here. And part of that is being also Joey Chaos's kid,
right.
Or Adam Pierce is the same way. He's like, hey Joey, I'm taking care of Jake Atlas down here. You know what I mean? Like, don't you worry.
Yeah.
Joey's done such good work and has always been a stand-up guy to other people, that when they've made it, they've always repaid Joey as in to take care of his kids, his young boys,
it's
respect.
People get so, it's so funny, even though, he was the indie guy, NWA champion when he had the 10 pounds of gold. People get so like, Adam Pierce. It's like, yeah. He lived like down here, and he was champion here, and we gave him a ride to his car after a show. You had the world champion in your car, like looking back now, we don't go there because it's not it's not the Scrap Daddy, it's not GQ Money, it's just Adam and Ryan, and it's like they're but when they see this on film, they'll be like, God damn it, breaking kayfabe, stupid shit, just stop it, so it's just funnier that way. But there you go.
It's the same thing with Chris Masters.
Very much so.
Dude, Chris Masters is an angel from heaven. That's how I say it. He's such a wonderful man.
He really is.
He's such a wonderful man. And there was one time we were in Arizona where, he's like, can I ride with you? And I was like, yeah, come on. Jumps in the car, whatever. And there was an idiot driver in front of us, and they braked. And look at how little I am, and look at how big Chris Masters is. He's in a passenger. I'm in the driver's side. And I had the thought of, oh my God, let me protect you, Chris Masters. And I put my little hand on him. And he stopped. We both stopped. We're okay. And he's like, thank you, dude. And I'm like, you're welcome. He goes, you remind me of my mom. I think I like you even more. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because you tried to save my life, and my mom's very little, and you just remind me of my mom.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been, super tight. And Chris Masters, every time somebody mentions Gino Rivera, he's like, he tells that story. He's told it before.
That's tremendous.
Because it's like, come on, it's like Cheeseburger trying to save Yokozuna.
Right? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, I'm gonna fly through this windshield, okay? So
it's so funny. The minute I thought of you putting his hand on his pec, I imagine him pec bouncing your hand off. Okay, you can let go now. It's just, sorry. Yeah.
But that's another guy who looks out for me. Another guy who looks out. Fred Rosser, right? Darren Young.
We love Fred. We love Fred here. Absolutely.
One of my favorite human beings in the world who will text me just to say, "I hope you're doing." Out of we could not talk for months, and he's just like, "Hey, miss you, bud." And he's such a wonderful guy. Like, I have such a great guy. Darby Allin was he sat me down when I wrestled him, and he's like, "Hey, man, let's not talk wrestling. Tell me about you. And for somebody to just sit down and go, I want to know you, the story about you. Like, what are you into? Like, what kind of music do you like? What do you have any animals? Stuff like that, is what Darby Allin wanted to know about me. He didn't care. How long have you been working, brother? What's your finish? Kick out of it. He was like, hey man, it's just me and you here. Like, do you have a dog? Do you have kids at home? And I'm like, I have a dog. I'm allergic, but I do have kids. Yes.
Why are you allergic to that? Sucks.
I'm allergic to dogs and cats and dogs. I never was when I was little. I just be like 5 years old. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've been allergic to cats since I was a kid, and the person in the green room will attest to that, because when I moved into his apartment back in the day, wait, actually I can't really see you there. There you are. I had been working with Aaron for so long, and his face in the valley, and he has cats, and then JJ's had cats pretty much right up until I moved in, and the cats seemed to just will themselves to death because they didn't want to be around me anymore, which is fine. The allergy went away for a couple of years. I thought, oh, cool. And then when I moved back up here and went back down to Aaron's place, it was like, oh, Rash City, awesome. So I feel you on the cat thing. But yeah, dogs, I couldn't be without dogs. I would be lost without my dog. Oh my God. I
love dogs and I love cats. I can't be around them.
Right. So JJ was along for a lot of these rides we took, up to Santino's and Battleground and all this stuff through the years. And I was actually going to, we brought up Chris Masters. I was going to say a couple things. First of all, Sam is going to face Chris pretty soon here on one of their shows out there. But Chris Masters was at the UPW show, the only UPW show that I helped with camera work and whatnot. And I was up, if you remember the old, I think it was the Galaxy Theater down there in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Aaron and I are up in the balcony up there where they had one of their long shot cams. Josh set up like that for years and years. So we're up there filming, and Luther Reigns, our buddy Horseshoe's in there cutting a promo. And he had just got his release from WWE. Like he was fresh off getting canned. Wow. And somebody in the crowd decided to start a chant of "You were Kurt's bitch" to the entire theater. So Horseshoe gets so mad, he turns to the camera at ringside, the little handheld camera, which happens to be our own personal no DQ camera, and screams, "Get that camera on my face." I said, "Get that camera." Whap! He hits the camera so hard, the camera bends, and our cameraman goes flying. So because of this guy, had things gone any worse that night, there would have been no Jeff Meacham Network in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Wow, what a story.
Don't put the sole blame on me. I may have been the one to get it going, but I had the entire theater chanting along with me.
You're just such a charismatic fool, they couldn't help but get behind you. It is your damn fault. Take the blame and own that shit.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? If Luther Reigns had been any better on television, then a chant wouldn't have gotten over.
Damn. Shit. Just be
Hey,
the guy while he's down.
Yeah, I didn't.
Damn, beat the guy while he's down. Holy crap. Oh, jeez.
I didn't say that. That was all this guy.
Yeah. So that's okay. God bless. I mean, poor Luther. I don't know if he's got like MS or something. The poor guy. He actually came to Ryan's Fitbit show that I was at, and he was a mess. I felt so bad for the guy. Looking back, it was horrible. So I have a couple of questions in the chat room. I don't know if I want to throw them out there because they're very like. I wouldn't ask him myself, but since he's my fan, I'll go ahead and throw it up there. He says, who'd you meet backstage WWE that made you, I'm going to say fanboy because fangirl's a little bit too much, but who'd you meet backstage that really actually had you going like for a second? You mentioned Goldberg, but you actually had to work with him. So anybody you didn't have to work with that you went for a second?
Yeah, I can tell you a quick little story. First of all, as an extra, we're not allowed to talk to the wrestlers. We're not allowed to take pictures with the wrestlers. We're not allowed to mingle. We're not allowed to sit with the wrestlers. But here is little Gino Rivera of Seville sitting down eating Fruit Loops, dry cereal. Because I'm like, I want this. And I'm on a table by myself. And all of a sudden, I look up and there's a guy from Japan. He's nice. He's tall. I follow this guy from Wrestle Kingdom 14. And I look up, and can you guess who it was?
If it's Wrestle Kingdom 14, I'm going to say Nakamura.
It was Nakamura.
Oh, my goodness.
I sit here, and I'm like, me?
Oh, you're...
He's like, and I sit here, and I'm like, okay, I'll move. He's like, no. Sit down. So I sit down, and he's sitting right across. And then it gets better. It gets better.
Oh.
So I'm scrolling on my phone, and you got Ryan. What's the guy's name? Ryan Satin.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. Yeah.
Okada's backstage looking for a job. Okada's backstage at WWE looking for a job. And then I'm sitting down eating my Fruit Loops, trying not to make eye contact with Shinsuke Nakamura. And then somebody grabs his shoulders and does the whole right. And they look at each other. They're speaking their language. I look up, and it's two of the greatest wrestlers in the world, and it is Kazuchika Okada and Shinsuke Nakamura sitting down in WWE catering room, sitting down at the same table I'm at, and I'm just over here, and all the other extra guys are like, "Get the fuck off the table!" And I'm like, "He said I could stay. What do I do?" And they're like, "Get off the table." And
Clean up aisle 2. Thank you.
Right?
Jesus.
I look up two of the greatest wrestlers in the world sitting on the same table as me, and I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at all this stuff that Ryan Satin's friends too, but that was a complete bullshit statement of Okada's trying to get a job. Okada was literally eating cereal with Shinsuke Nakamura
and Gino Rivera.
table that I was at, and Triple H literally walked by him and said, "Hey, what you doing?" And he's like, "No, just hanging out." And he's like, "All right, man. Hey, basically letting Okada know our house is open to you. Have fun, enjoy the show."
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, damn, like no one here is like
ever gonna believe this story
because everybody there is a professional, and then everybody there's like it's Okada. No one's gonna be like, "Oh my God, it's Okada." I mean, there's a few guys who are like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing in town?" I think there was like a Long Beach show before that.
Right.
So, so he was there for the show, and like I said, Okada was visiting friends. There was Asuka, there was Funaki.
Right, of course.
The foreigners like just all happy to see each other, and it was a beautiful moment of just like seeing such great Japanese talent, like, and I'm just sitting here eating my freaking Fruit Loops, like, oh my God, man. Then I get to the table, I eventually leave, and then they fill up the table, whatever. But
of course,
that was something that I was like, I will never forget that. And you can look it up online. You can look up Ryan Satin saying, Okada, is backstage at WWE. He's going to sign. No, he's going to make himself a bowl of cereal right now is what he's going to do.
Right. Yeah, he's going to make the most cereal just so Ryan had a moment of, oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is the best. It's one of those things. JJ's and I, we both had that moment where we're interviewing somebody or we're hanging out with somebody and we go, what life are we living? Like, how did this, like, I was mentioning before JJ about having Pierce in the passenger seat of our car, driving him to his car. It's like, the world champion's in our passenger seat. What the hell?
And I'm driving him.
And JJ's right. Like, what the hell turn do we make to get this be a thing? And the freaking belts in the back seat, like.
Yeah. Guys, I wrestled Killer Cross maybe a dozen times, dude.
Oh man, I love that guy.
See him on TV, and I'm just like, that's a good guy. Like, he's such a great guy. And, everybody will fanboy over him. But I remember, Killer Cross, Karrion Cross, whatever you know him as, me and him sitting in a Denny's, and he's pissed off because his food is, like, not coming. And it's been about 40 minutes. And he's like, oh, with my freaking pancakes, I'm just going to freaking leave. And I'm just going to get out. Like, I'm like, Kevin, chill, bro. It's coming.
Yeah, he's always right there at the cusp of just beating the shit out of everybody over pancakes. Like, just, dude.
If he wants to destroy you, Kevin Cross will destroy you.
No question about that. Yeah.
I watched the man at I think it was an IHOP in Tucson or something, and he's just literally with his fork, and I'm like, yeah, that fork's bent already.
Yeah.
It's literally like he takes some joy in that, but. Man, that's the only like fanboy, fangirl moment that I had was just sitting with Okada or eating food.
And considering the time you had this happen, I mean, this is the time where he's wrestling Kenny Omega in 5-star matches of the whole year. So, that's like.
I just watched you can tear the freaking house down, and now you're eating Fruit Loop or cereal with me. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That would definitely need me to grab a towel, clean up. Oh wow, holy cow! I'm gonna skip the second question. Not a fan of that one, but I will ask this one.
I would like to know that second question. Why are we going to avoid that one?
Because I hate asking it to everybody. You know, he wants to know who you expected to be a jerk and turn out to be okay, but he also wants to know the vice versa. It's like I don't need people burying people on my show. Like I really don't. So, you know.
I won't say a name, but it was a guy who almost made me quit wrestling and put me into depression.
Wow.
And this is a guy that everyone knows on the California scene, and it was a mistake. I think
you and I have had that discussion about this person before. So yeah.
And I won't bring it up because it's a dead situation. No. He's a great guy now.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
So, but we know that story. But I mean, obviously, honestly, everybody's really been super cool. I've had some really funny stories, like you know, just like weird stories with wrestlers that were like me and Gino Rivera, you know, being in a backseat of a freaking Explorer in Tucson, and he's trying to rap to me, you know, stuff like that, where his raps aren't even rhyming. It's just, I'm the truth, and I'm the greatest, and I'm in the ring, and forget the haters. And what do you think about that? And I'm like, that is great.
It's like greatest and haters. If you think greatest and haters rhyme, Hoovie, you're Hoovie. Yes. Hey, sure.
Hoovie is 110% him. And
always.
And idolizing the cruiserweights, El Dandy. I mentioned El Dandy because no one does. Super Kahlo and
hey, Bret Hart mentioned El Dandy, damn it. So
Silver King, all these guys. No one cares. They always mention Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko. Nobody forgets the other guys like nobody mentions like Super Kahlo and Silver King and Damien and all those guys. But those are the other guys that I watched. Juventud was one of them, and to sit in a car with him in Tucson while he raps and terrible. Right. He wasn't a dick. He was just funny, you know.
Yeah. So I mentioned XPW earlier. I was at their last actual under Rob Black and Lizzie shows in LA here back in February and March of 2003. So, Damien and Halloween signed a picture I printed out of them, and you know, they Tu Amigo. Just like I met them that day, but I'm their friend because they're great guys. Same, Super Crazy was at that show. Same thing. You know, these guys that you think they're gonna, you know, be put off because they don't speak the language or whatever it is, they turn out to be the sweetest peaches in the whole business. It's ridiculous. It's funnier than hell. I love that.
It's the truth.
It's great. So, all right. One more question from Caleb, then we're gonna get JD actually talk because he's sitting there about 20 minutes just sitting there watching me run my mouth like he always does on Fridays.
2.5 hours for your part. Less than 2 for mine. I'm just saying.
On a show that he conceptualized in the first place. So there you go. Who's the biggest name? Who's the biggest contact in your phone book on your phone?
Let me read that question.
Who's the biggest name you have as a contact in your phone?
Oh my gosh. I can't give one guy's name out because he's somebody that is in like WWE production, and if I do, him. But as far as wrestler wise, I can give you 5. I have Chris Masters,
nice,
Darren Young, Brian Kendrick, a name that I'm afraid to say, but I mean I have James Ellsworth's number. You know what I mean?
You know what? That whole thing was so blown up so quick and proven to be complete basic crap. That you know, it's
I James Ellsworth is still a guy that somebody I communicate with. You know, he's a nice guy to me.
He was super nice to me at the SmackDown I was at in Ontario in June of 2008 or 18 rather. He was one of the few people that actually came out to the gate and signed for everybody. So
I don't really like talk about his own little ordeal. That's him, but I know the man that helped me give me the rub.
Right. Exactly.
I also took Scorpio Sky to a club where he couldn't dance at all. Scorpio Sky, you are the worst dancer in the world, and you know that. You don't just 2 left feet; you have 5 left feet.
Nice.
And that's a cheat, brother. But
So now this guy's going to come after me. I got Daniel's AEW to tell me to make sure they approve of me on the show. Now you caused the whole shit for me. I hope you're proud of yourself, Gino.
Yes, I am.
Jesus.
But I, mean,
I know you always are.
Like 5 to name a few. Just those guys that like I could text right now and be like, "Hey, I'm in town. Want to go to Applebee's? Yeah, sure. Let's go."
Gino never stops healing. That's it. There you go. That's it. Ever.
Yep.
All right, so now we got the questions out of the way. JJ's been sitting here like a good little boy, patient as hell, and he and I, JJ's the reason that we really got to meet you in the first place, because it was through working with him, developing the Constantine Studios channel with him, that we went and did that Santino's Week in the first place. And there you were, training away with everybody there, and we got to see you on that weird show they did out in the middle of the street there, and
oh wow, yeah, I remember that.
That was the weirdest. Like, I've been a part of some weird shit in my 20 years doing this, but that was very bizarre. It was literally a pop-up event. The ring
was like a street fair.
In the street, and just boom, there it was.
It was in the middle, like a Rite Aid and a street light, and I was like,
yeah, it was like a street fair.
But the thing is, though, a street fair in that part of LA is an interesting choice to make.
Yeah.
So,
well, you got to think about it. All the shows are in that Florence area. What is it called? Montebello.
It's
all in
it's
that
just
circle, like right there. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, those training shows that were at the warehouse, man, if you took a wrong turn 1 foot, you would have no idea where the hell that place is. You couldn't find it to save your ass. JJ and I know, because we drove around for 20 friggin' minutes the first night. Like, where the hell is this place?
I remember that track show, like that warehouse.
God, oh my God, yeah, because that's where Dylan's mom, Dylan and I all got that hideous Hulkamania color red and yellow Famous B shirt that I haven't worn since. Can't find a son bitch to save my life. But damn it, we were supporting Famous B that night, by God.
I think I still have mine in my freaking tote of wrestling shirts.
Yeah,
I got rid of a bunch of my shirts when I got out of wrestling. But I think I still have that one somewhere.
That's great.
Let me tables on you guys really quick. I just want a number. Just even if it's like, okay, like say you have somewhere of 60 or something, but you're not sure. Just give me an exact number. Don't say, well, I have plus. Just a number is all I need. How many wrestling shirts do you have in your closet, in your house in general? How many from the time? Like, I still have my first Undertaker shirt that I've ever bought, and I don't even fit it. Obviously, I was 6 or 7 when I had it. But how many wrestling shirts do you both have?
Well, let me ask your question by answer the question. Are you counting my work shirts, like the ones I have for work, or just non-work shirts?
I want to say indie and mainstream wrestling shirts, not the ones for ourselves.
Okay, so you're talking about like for talent.
Right.
I mean, it could be one of my shirts, and it could be Stone
talent or company or whatever. Right.
Yeah. How many wrestling shirts do you have in your house?
God.
I think this is a high number on my end.
Give me
because I went through and got rid of a bunch, and
gave them to me.
So I'm not really sure what the exact number is these days, but I probably have between about 30 and 50.
Okay.
Dude, I think you're aiming
a lot of them
because I was going to say
indie.
40, so yeah.
A lot of them are indie because I kept those because nobody would really know some of those people.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the more mainstream ones I threw up on eBay or whatever that I thought I could fetch a few bucks for.
Right.
When I got rid of them, or I passed them on to Jeff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I went to my sister's house over the weekend on the way back from Vegas, and I forgot I had a freaking tote of wrestling shirts. Oh, yeah, Judy gave me these. There's a Hurricane shirt in there. I'm never going to wear a Hurricane shirt unless I actually go see Shane Helms. Like, for real. It probably didn't fit my fat ass anyway. So.
Well, you said you wanted it for your brother, that he was a Hurricane.
Oh, that's right.
That's why you got those.
I forgot about that. You're 100% right. I forgot about that. But there's that rare edit of the TNA logo with the red, white, and blue. I'm like, that's cool. I'll take that. Stuff like that. Honestly, my best guess right now is definitely over 40. Like,
okay.
Between the garage where I haven't seen shit in 10 years, the stuff I wear every day for work, and the stuff in the dresser, I'd at least over 40, probably pushing 50.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Ever since Friday, I've been hemming and hawing about pressing the purchase button on the CM Punk shirt from AEW.
Dude, it seriously is an open tab in my computer right now. Like, staring me down. Like, son of a bitch. Like, damn
Look,
you,
man,
Punk.
I'm a worker, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of Punk, but I just want to support him. But I want to buy his shirt.
It's so funny. I almost bought the black variant because once he left WWE, that site Extreme Wrestling Shirts picked up like every damn buddy's shirt. They have the white ringer variant that he wore in Chicago. Just not the I was there part of it. They have a black variant. I hate white T-shirts. I get ring around the collar. I sweat. I'm gross right now. White shirts are not my friend, right? But black T-shirts I can hang with. So I almost bought it before I went to Vegas. I'm like, there's a lot of shit going on about maybe something happening Friday. Hold off. And sure enough, there he was. And peel off that jacket. I'm like, that's my next purchase. And then, of course, Becky Lynch shows up the next time. I'm like, well, I got to buy that shirt now, son of a bitch.
Yeah,
so, which I did. I was telling the story before you came on. They had this thing, the SummerSlam app on the phones where you could, like, buy stuff and go pick it up at another section of the stadium. I'm like, okay, cool. So I bought a SummerSlam shirt there. She walked out. I spent 30 minutes. Like, why isn't the app refreshing? They didn't offer it on the app. You had to go stand your fat ass in line to go get one. I'm like, I'll pre-order it. I ain't waiting for that shit. Because the line was freaking arena by the time she was done. So it's like, all right, September 10th to pre-order. I can hang with that.
Yeah.
So, I do need, however, to find out where I can get a Gino Rivera shirt because I definitely need one of those because we've been buddies too long for me not to have a Seville or a Gino shirt.
I make my own shirts. I stopped working with Pro Wrestling Tees after the amount of money I would get, I'd be disappointed in. I'm like, dude, what do I got to do? I just found out how to make my own shirts. So now it's like, I tell everybody, I'm like, while everybody's posting 20% off, I'm like, you're going to get $5 off of that a month. And I just got mad about that. So I'm like, I make my own. So you just DM me and choose a design, choose a logo. I have like over 40 freaking designs.
Oh, by the way, I love that Gina told you so with the Rugrats fun. That is, for an old school Nickelodeon fan, I was like, dude, I want like 20 of those just because.
I grew up in the 90s, man. And
exactly.
I love.
I see that and I feel like Captain America is like, I understand that reference.
I love all things 90s. I love things. Dude, like I could cry about the things I love so much. 90s, like 90s were the greatest. It was the greatest era to me ever. Like, I don't know.
So funny. Once No DQ kind of made the decision to leave Pro Wrestling Tees and go to Teespring, which is now just Spring or whatever. When I started my own stuff a year and a half ago, my co-host on Wednesday is Greg Cherry, or actually I'm his co-host. It's his show. He became my graphics guy. He designed this one for me, which is you can obviously tell what that's from the 80s. But this font is his favorite pay-per-view, Royal Rumble.
That's the Royal Rumble.
Yep. My Talk Wrestling logo now. See, I think I still have that in here somewhere. Hang on. Shit. Where is it? Hang on. I'll find it. Give me time. It's not there. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and just do this then. We'll just do this. Take you off screen real quick here. If you look. Totally the WCW logo font.
Yes.
He knew that I'm an old school WCW fan. So I was like, dude, because I've had great logos in the 14 years I've been doing Talk Wrestling. But Greg and his graphic designs, he knew how to speak to me. He knows what I like. So he did that one for me. He did he did the two Jeffy Network logos. And then I had asked him on the whim. It's like, you know what? I've got the Kings did their retro logo this last season with the old purple and gold colors, but the old Gretzky era logo. Can you do something like that for me? And he was like, dude, I got you. So I bought the retro Kings hat with it says the Jeff Meacham Network is the big letters, and then instead of a crown, it's got the hat where the crown is because I always wear hats. So friggin' cool. And then when I found I was going to SummerSlam, I'm like, well, God, I don't have anything to support John because that's my boy. I bought that hideous purple and gold 2010 You Can't See Me hat that 3 people bought besides me. And I'm like, I need a hat. So I got a John Cena hat to match the purple shirt. And I wore that at SummerSlam, damn it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of logos, I mean, one of my favorite designs ever was a guy, my buddy Ray Basura in New Mexico. He goes, Trash King, and this guy is a genius. He also created my Rugrats shirt, but he did my Gino Told You So, my Nitro Gino logo. It is.
Oh, I forgot to run the intro when you came in. Shit, I totally forgot. Let me show everybody that logo real quick. Hang on, where the hell's the intro? There it is. Here it is. Hang on. Overload for Gino.
An hour and 45 minutes in, we'll run Gino's intro, you know.
There it is.
It has been the cluster fuckiest thing trying to get him on this show and get it straightened out. Jiminy Christmas.
We battled.
You know, I think I may need the SmackDown version so that if I go to the Ontario SmackDown show, I can rock that shit.
Yeah, because like three people, us three will be the only ones to get it, and that's all right. I'm all right with that. It's awesome.
Hey, it won't be the first time that I got an enhancement talent over at a WWE show.
Yeah. Or you know, get it.
I remember I want to say it was at the Honda Center, and Big Baby Slim was wrestling.
Oh Lord!
And I was in one of the first few rows.
What was it, you know?
That's a name I haven't heard in a long.
I was gonna say, man, Baby Slim goes back to the old XMV days.
But I was in like one of the first couple rows, like ringside, and because you know I was one of the few in the know as to who he was, he was supposed to be working straight up heel, but I had my entire section chanting, "Keep it gangsta."
Oh, jeez, that's
Keep
tremendous.
it gangsta. He had no choice but to look my way and acknowledge me.
That's right.
I felt like Roman Reigns for a minute, like, acknowledge me, damn it.
Yeah.
When I saw him at the next UPW show, he was like, dude, I was supposed to be working heel. You had me breaking character.
Man, that's funny that you guys mentioned that guy's name. When I first met him, I screwed up because I said I like Notorious B.I.G. over Tupac, and he soured on me.
Oh, man.
He was like, how dare you say the audacity? And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
You know, and I was like, I personally, I'm a big fan, you know? And he's just like, and you live on the West Coast? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you're not from here. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't, you can't like Biggie if you live out here. It's just a rule, I guess.
I can wax philosophical on here because I'm a big music guy. For me, it's all just a matter of what you're into.
Right.
If you're into like partying and clubs and dancing, then Biggie's the stuff for you. If you're into more gangsta stuff, if you're into more like intricate and philosophical stuff, then you're gonna go with Pac.
I mean, it was Baby Slim we're talking about, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But I mean, you know, then there's some of us that walk that fine line. Like I love them both,
right?
But it's just a matter of what mood I'm in as far as which one I listen to more.
Yeah, see. Well, I screwed up there and almost got killed, so.
Right. I'm going to try something real quick here before you start, Jay. Hang on one second. I'm going to see if I can. Okay, you still can't see the logo even if I move it. Okay. I was going to ask Gino because you saw the OTR there and the SmackDown style logo. Yes. That stands for Off the Ropes, which is your school.
Yes, that is my school. It's something I created in 2019. I got the blessing of Joey Chaos. I was afraid to open my school because I was like, I'm only 12 years in, 10 years in. What do I know, right? And then I look and I see all these other jobbers, excuse my language, these other people, and they're starting schools at 2 years in, and I'm like,
no.
I was afraid to even say I wanted to train somebody at 10 years in, but you've got guys that are like legit starting schools and making money training these kids. And they don't know shit. And I'm like,
no.
And I went to Joey and I was like, how would you feel if I opened up, you know, start training guys? He's like, what took you so long? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm nervous. And there's a whole thing here in New Mexico where people didn't want to train people because of, well, she's a girl or or this
That's so stupid.
this guy's fat, this guy's too Asian, this guy's too black, whatever it was. And I said, I'll take all these misfits, I'll be the Paul Heyman, and I'm gonna create everything. I'm gonna freaking, what did Paul Heyman say? Hide the negatives, accentuate the positives.
Yep, that's it.
And you know what? All those guys that got told no, I have 12 students running loose right now, and they're all. And it's because someone gave me, a skinny kid with a freaking fat, ugly head. And who am I to say that kid is not worthy of a shot at trying to attempt to create, his dream, start his dream. So I gave him a chance, and I've had some bad apples, I've had some duds, and then I've had 12 other students that have gone to excel, and it's part of life. Like Joey Chaos says, man, he's like, look, dude, when you started class, there was 20 people there. Now there was only you and Mariah. So people come and go.
And I take great pride in being friends with you and having had, this is going to sound really egotistical, I'm not trying to be, having the balls to promote Mariah as our women's champion in Wild when we did that 11 years ago, because people were flipping their shit. Like, how can you bother her? Because she's freaking good. Right. Like, she's got the training from Joey and Luther and everybody. How do you not book her as your champion? Whatever you think of her philosophy of life, that's your tough shit, not mine, pal.
And Mariah is probably one of the reasons, not one of the reasons, because I have 3 gay brothers, but one of the reasons I am so accepting of trans, gay, and everything in wrestling. Like, dude, as the cool kids and all the bullies in wrestling say, wrestling's not for everybody. No, wrestling is for everybody. It's for you. It's for that guy who can't get in the ring, that is confined to a wheelchair, and it shows more than anything else. Wrestling's for the transvestite, the gay guy, the shy guy, the bully. Wrestling's for everybody, and that's the problem where everybody gets mistaken. Like, wrestling isn't only for bodybuilders and stuff like that, guys. There's been a lot of people who have made money, and there's been a lot of fans who have given wrestlers like just the greatest memories ever, and there's been some wrestlers who've given fans the greatest memories ever. Like, like I met The Undertaker in West Covina, and I got starstruck literally where I couldn't speak. And I told the lady to just take the fucking picture, and I walked away because I had nothing to say. And now I'll never get that.
Wait a minute. Gino, the guy that's always running his mouth, the heel with the big mouth, couldn't have a word to say?
Can I tell you the story?
Do it.
So Undertaker did a one-time signing at Frankincense. It was
oh god, that was expensive as fuck.
$50 for the ticket.
Yeah.
$50 for the ticket, or like the meet and greet, and then like $150 for a sign. It was like whatever. I spent whatever. Actually, I got it. But what happened was I was in Frankincense, and I'm like, I never stand in lines to meet wrestlers. I don't want to meet any wrestler.
Right.
But here I am standing in line, and I'm trying to hide because everybody's like, "Is that Gino?" And I'm like, "No." Is that Gino? No, Gino. What's up? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here too." Fuck. And I'm like, what am I hiding for? I love The Undertaker. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course, I stand there for 3 hours, and I finally get to the line. He comes out, everybody's screaming, and I'm like, oh my God, whatever. We're getting to the line, we're zigzagging. And
I hate that line so much. Oh.
I'm next in the line, and there's Undertaker. He's sitting down, and he's still taller than me.
Right?
They hand me my, or they're like, oh, let me see your ticket, whatever. Do you want to take a picture this way, or do you want to take a picture this way? And I'm like, take the fucking everything. And
take all the pictures.
Like, oh, well, unlock your phone. And I'm trying to unlock my phone. The whole time, Undertaker's behind me like this with his hand out. And I did not see him. And he's like this. He's waiting. And everybody's like, dude, like, turn around. And I'm like, just fucking press this button. Whatever, it's an iPhone. Here, you have a Droid. I turn around, and Undertaker's like, how you doing? And I'm like, good. Take the picture, and I walk away.
Oh my God.
That was it. And I sat in my car, and I said, you've waited 30-something years to say hey, I mean, this is all I wanted to say. Undertaker, you've given me the best memories of my life. I've been a fan forever. My mom loves you, and thank you. That's it. I was so starstruck that he was behind me. I shook his hand. I said, good. And I went, jobber smile, and I walked away like a jobber. And now I will never get that opportunity to say that unless I want to get escorted out of the freaking arena backstage at WWE.
Right.
But when he walks by,
Man.
all I can think about is, I'm that kid that just said good to you and walked away. As you guys say it, I tell this story to everybody because it's funny. People are like, how does a guy with a silver tongue like you run out of things to say? Like, how does that happen? And I'm like, you guys have no idea. I've met celebrities, 3-6 Mafia, and I've met all kinds of people that are like, oh, they're big entertainers, and I've never been short of words to say. But this was a man that changed me and my mother's life forever, and started this. He's the reason I'm a wrestler, and
Right.
I couldn't even get that out of my mouth because I was like, jobber smile, and I walked away like a jobber.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, if I've lost every match of my career and been called a jobber, that was the ultimate jobber moment of my life.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I literally wasted someone's $150 ticket that they gave me and a $150 ticket to meet him, which is, if you put it together, it's $300.
$300. Right.
To sit there for 3-4 hours to just spend 5 seconds with him and walk away.
Yeah.
Every time I post that picture, I cringe a little because I'm like, it's the greatest moment of my life, but I'm like, why didn't I say something? Even if he didn't care, it's something I needed to get off my chest. So that's a hard story.
Right.
I believe you.
Yeah, I was lucky when I met Hulk back in 2009.
Yeah.
I had a previous experience of going to Jimmy Kimmel because he was on Jimmy Kimmel promoting. I want to say it wasn't Hogan Knows Best yet because he wasn't doing that show, but he was still kind of like on the fringe with WWE, kind of still doing his thing. I think we lost Seville.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay. So we can hear you, but there we go. Hi. So I'd had the heartbreak of thinking he would come out to say hi to everybody out there in back the studio in Hollywood, and the wife's out there with the big Hummer vehicle, which he didn't run over Bischoff with, I think, at that time, and gives the big like this, and then walks to the Hummer. I'm 20 years old and I'm sobbing like I'm a child. So to that guy in Chicago, a Punk, dude, I love you. Hell with it. Them assholes. So fast forward 6 years, I've been doing the podcasting for 7. I'm still, I've got enough of a confidence in my own voice to not completely lose my shit. But of course, it's Hulk Hogan, so I'm gonna lose my shit no matter what. It's gonna happen. So, this is at the you're from out here, Gino. The Barnes and Noble there by where CBS tapes their shows.
Yeah.
Out there in the Grove. So I'm there when the store opens, 9:00 in the morning. The signing's at 7:00 because I'm that much of a dork. And so I spend the entire day Christmas shopping for everybody. I got Dylan's mom the entire set of Twilight books because I'm just that much of a glutton for punishment for reading it later. We get in line. I pay for that. I get from everybody except the handicapped people because that's how fast I wanted to get there and get out of there. Just like I didn't want to be all like tripping for 3 hours like you just described. So I wanted to get out of there. So I find out that Jimmy Hart's with him because Jimmy Hart goes Hulk Hogan because that's what Jimmy Hart does. So Jimmy and I had been friends from doing this show previously, so we were kind of BSing back and forth a little bit. And then they tell you, no, you can't pose for the picture. They can take a picture, you shaking his hand, and total cattle call, just, So they got a great picture of me shaking his hand with Jimmy like behind the reps. You can't even see Jimmy, poor guy. He's just he's off there just like back there in the shadows, just circling away. And I go to leave, and I had this little voice in my head saying, "Don't leave yet." Okay. So hang around for a little bit. Jimmy comes off the platform there. He and I start talking for a little bit. And I realize I've known Jimmy for 6 years. I don't have a picture with him yet. So click, take the picture. I'm in this bright red Hulkamania shirt, my bright red Angels hat. I almost blended the background between the red shelves and Jimmy's red and yellow coat. So you can't see any of us at this point. Yeah. And okay, cool. I got a picture of Jimmy. I can leave now. And again, that little voice goes, just don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Okay. So I find out the route is going to be he's going to get up from the chair there at the table and walk back to the back where the break room was for the Barnes & Noble employees and just, kind of hang out there until the store closed.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me do it, Gino. I swear to God, I crouched down behind one of those big like shelf display things like they have like throughout a bookstore where it's like this.
Yeah.
And I'm crouching back there and he walks out and I dart out and I'm not as big as I am now, but still a pretty big sized dude. I said, Hulk, please one picture, brother. And he puts that big old paw out and goes, where's your camera, brother? Pulls me in. Great. There weren't selfies back then, but it almost looked like a selfie. And I just melted like a freaking
popsicle on 4th of July.
Popsicle, yeah. We got the picture. He goes to the back. I was like, oh. Like the people that make us want to do this, they just have that hold over us. You with the Undertaker, me with Hulk. It's just the way it is. And what was really cool about it after the fact was this poor young lady, couldn't have been too much older than me, had come down from Vancouver, British Columbia, with this huge notebook of stuff, including a great picture she took of Hulk at WrestleMania in Seattle, where he was doing the whole thing before he got in the ring to face Vince. And they wouldn't let him sign that because it wasn't the book. So she's just crestfallen. I don't know how he heard the story. He must have freaking ears like a damn hunting animal. Jimmy Hart sticks that little head out of it. Hey, where's your friend? And he grabbed her notebook out of her hand forcibly, goes back there, comes back out. Hulk Hogan signed on it.
Of course.
I was like, shit, I need to go home now before I become a complete puddle. I need to go. And I'm on transit from freaking Hollywood back up here to Santa Clarita. So I'm like, it's midnight. Like, I got to get the hell out of here. I just love stories like that. I know JJ's. Have you met your favorite?
Probably the favorite that I've met would be Piper.
Oh God, yeah, him and my
I've
sister.
got a couple of Piper stories, but I mean,
yeah,
probably the favorite that I haven't gotten to meet yet is Dwayne Rocky.
Right. Well.
But
none of the three of us are getting near his ass right now because freaking.
The two best stories I probably have are my Vince McMahon story,
which I told earlier, yeah,
and my Piper story.
Yeah, the Vince story we were telling because Gino was talking about having Vince walk by him, have that aura about him, and I was like, dude, my brother JJ, Mikey mentioned both brothers met Vince, and it's like, yeah, but JJ's story is way better than mine because Vince had a PR alert and said like, oh shit, I better diffuse this really quick.
Pretty much. I still say if security hadn't made that comment, Vince would not have come over. But
Gino
the security guard making
Yep.
the comment about, he's got more important things to do. Vince was like, oh, got to go over there, put that dumpster fire out.
And Gino knows because he's an LA boy. He knows them Staples Center guards are assholes. So he knows, man. Oh, God. And being a Kings season ticket holder for life, it's like I deal with those guys on the regular. It's like, how do you guys always this prickish? Like, how do you pull off being this much of an asshole on the daily? How do you do that?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Rare breed.
Well, what was so funny is they wear those coats. They got those Vince McMahon shoulder pads. You think they'd be a better line with him on that, right? Just big old puffy dudes. Like, dude, you're not that big. Take the coat off, Dick. Seriously, you're like you're like smaller than 10-year-old Gino. Get the fuck out of here with that crap. Like for real. Oh, people. But meeting Piper was really cool, at least for me. He wasn't because of course I'm a Hulk guy, so Piper's not my favorite. But the one time Piper and I really talked was the year before he passed away, and they still haven't done to this day. Cyndi Lauper's not in the Hall of Fame, and Roddy asks me as a podcaster, how does he not put Cyndi in the Hall of Fame? Because think about it, yeah. Hulk and I were the main event. We were the attraction. Yeah, you had Mr. T in there. But without me, without Cyndi Lauper getting involved with Lou, there's no WrestleMania.
There's no rock and roll.
There's no rock and wrestling. And I looked at Roddy. I said, Roddy, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just... Yeah, it's Flair told the story of, got to draw money next week. Cyndi Lauper is what drew that money for the next week to get people into the world of the score. So it's crazy. But it is now freaking 11 o'clock for you almost, 10 o'clock for me almost, and my kid's going to bed, so I got to do the thing. do the dad thing. But I'm so happy we finally got you on. I'm so happy we had both our the Constantine Studios brothers in it, because I know JJ and Mikey miss you as much as I do out here, and we look forward to you returning to SoCal if you do, and making people remember who Gino Rivera can be now that he's got the sizzle behind the steak.
Yes. I feel the same way. I love podcasting. My favorite things to do. I have an interview tomorrow.
Nice.
Like I set do at least a week. So
it's so funny that you guys both did the Locanos on the anniversary show back in January. I started lining up interviews just with people I know, just like friends, and it's the weirdest thing, like I booked Paradise Kitty, the female Guns N' Roses tribute band that I've known the lead singer for, sorry Jenna, 27 years this year, and because they got booked on the Jericho cruise, all of a sudden I'm booked with interviews through November 1st now. Like every week I've got at least one. This week I've got two.
Oh yeah.
So and I've had two podcasts today, one interview and the NWA preview. It's people, all the pandemics, dude. Podcasters are loving the pandemic because nobody's going anywhere. I'm in my office, in my room, back at the back of the house, not doing a damn thing but hustle.
I'm on the road all the time. I need stuff to listen to, so I'm a big podcaster.
I appreciate that because most of my stuff can be done verbally without the video portion of it. I've been really thinking about relaunching the Spotify part of the Anchor part of my stuff, because a lot of people tell me we love your shows, but we sit there and watch them because you're going 2.5 hours with Gino Rivera. I gotta make sure I actually get on the road to go do shit. So
4.5 hours on Friday doing story songs.
Dude, this guy Gino, you've known us long enough. He pitched a story to me and I had no whatever about it. Songs that tell a story. I'm like, what does that mean? And I thought that
you're a musician. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about the greatest songs that you've heard in your life that from start to finish just tell a story throughout the entire song.
I know one off the top of my head that I don't think anybody even knows. It's called "I'll Build You a Rainbow."
Okay, who's it by?
Kila E. Rochelle. It's by a Hawaiian artist, and it's basically about a kid, his mom passing away.
Oh wow!
It really fucks you up, man. But
right, yeah.
I can't listen to it. I just know it, but no. I know tons of songs that tell stories. Not okay, but.
And what's funny is once I got my head around it, it's like all my favorite songs tell a story. Just pick 10 out, dipshit. So what turned into I don't understand the concept. Like I said, my segment of the show is going 2.5. His is going 2. We couldn't even get it up. I'm sitting there. Okay, so I uploaded the entire show to YouTube Monday night. I edited Monday night. Okay, good, done, whatever. I didn't get the notification in my email until Thursday night saying, hey, we can't put, I forget what this, some stupid ass bogus, well, you can't monetize this. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I ended up taking out everything that I thought would be non-monetizable. And I'm sitting there in the car on the way to Las Vegas and in the passenger seat. And I finally said, you know what? I can't deal with this shit. I need to treat this as the actual vacation it needs to be. Yes. So I put the phone down and I said, JJ, you've got this show. This is you. So what he's doing, since his channel isn't monetized yet, wink, wink, YouTube, make it happen. He's editing in the entire songs to the show. So
you get us BSing, talking about the song, then you actually get to hear the song tell its story, and then it comes back to us talking about why we chose the song, what it is we like about it in the first place.
And I noticed that I was editing it back. It's like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff where we pause for the inserts for his version, and then we come off, oh man, that was so great. It's like we didn't listen to it on my end, so it looks completely freaking stupid. So it's like, you know what? Let this be a Casa exclusive. Let's get eyes on the product. And what's really funny is between his reviewing The Muppets Take Manhattan at 3 p.m. our time, my replay of it at 4 p.m. our time, and then a 4.5 hour show, we're going to completely cut across the SmackDown after SummerSlam because we really want our viewers. Clearly, we had Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch return, but let's watch these guys talk about songs to tell a story for 4.5, 5 hours. Dope.
No.
So you know what? They're on demand. Trying to get SmackDown on demand's a pain in the ass because Hulu cuts shit out. We are uncensored.
Oh yeah.
So, there you go. But check out this guy. He's on social media. He's all over the place. Gino told you so, all over social media.
Yes.
And you know what? For the last 2.5 hours, he done told you so. So there you go. I can't recommend his in-ring work enough, and I can't recommend his mouth for anybody, especially if you're under 18, because that's wrong.
Follow this man on social media, and if he comes to a city near you, get your ass out of your house and off that couch and put that ass into one of those seats to be entertained by his mouth and his in-ring work.
Yes.
Seriously, it's worth braving the COVID, folks. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and if you guys are anywhere near LA on the 26th, I believe, I will be in LA wrestling at a place called Pandemonium Wrestling, and then I make my return to UEW October 9th in Los Angeles. So, yeah.
Now this is September 26th you're talking about?
Yes, I believe it's on a Sunday. It's a Sunday show. So.
It's actually the Sunday that the WWE's airing their Extreme pay-per-view. Like, dude, go watch Gino. That's bullshit. That's stupid. Seriously.
Either way,
yeah.
And I might even make a sneak peek at the West Coast Wrestling Company's show too that day. So I'm gonna be all over the place in California.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm having Rick on the 23rd to promote that show.
While you're all over the place in California, if you so happen to get a message that you're going to be in Ontario, hit me up because I will definitely make sure I come out and support you.
Well,
Definitely.
How about this? I did get a message, and I'll see you in Ontario.
Okay, so
all right, I'm buying my tickets now. God damn it!
Well, now I gotta go to SmackDown.
That place is like 10 minutes from my house.
I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll see, right?
Okay, so it's 10 minutes from JJ's house. It takes me 10 minutes to look onto the map to find the place, but I'll try to be there.
Yes, I actually got that today. Thank you.
That's
nice.
Fantastic. I love it.
So when you arrive at the arena, don't heal me, goddammit. You better come up and say what's up.
No, dude, JJ, it's your own comment. Where'd it go here?
I know. Gino's always healing.
Try.
There you go. Never.
Never stops. Yes.
And that's
there may have been some ex-WWE talents at the last show I went to, but a lot of the reason that I went to that show in Pomona was this man right here, getting to see my old buddy Gino work again.
I appreciate you. I put in the face with a real live bear named Mark Henry, and that was a scary sight to see. So.
Dude, when the one time we did All Access together, I went in for a freaking, the whole handshake, the bro hug thing. He goes, brother, nobody hugs me with my wife. Get the hell off me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr. Henry. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And as we saw the big head of hair, so he looked like a big old bear. Like,
yeah. I had the pleasure of watching him take off his jacket and ripping my head off. He was going.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
So,
he is. Yeah, that World's Strongest Man thing is no gimmick.
Fair.
That dude is a bear and a half. And on that note, now we know we're going to see Gino in person. We got to make sure we promote him. Go to Gino Told You So. It's definitely on Twitter, definitely on Facebook, everything. So check him out. Follow this man.
Simple as, like I said, Gino Told You So, one word at everything.
And look this man up on YouTube. Listen to some of his music. He's actually got some fire hip hop tracks as well.
There you go.
You guys, I appreciate that. And as soon as my new house is up, I'm going to be working on some new music, so we'll get that out.
We'll definitely have to get you back on the show. We'll talk about that when it comes. Gino, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for staying up late with us. It's been the Jeff Meacham Network After Dark tonight. It's supposed to be After Dark. So thank you all for watching, and we will catch you guys tomorrow on the Greg Cherry Show at 7 o'clock Eastern. Have a great night, everybody.